Hello and welcome back to the ArcSimRapMarket.com National Series. Today we're here at Gateway Motorsports Park or Worldwide Technology Raceway, whichever one you want to call it. As these drivers finish up practice here, we'll head into qualifying very shortly. And we'll go over a few things as well. So we'll go actually trackside. We'll go find, sorry, my bad, last week's winner, which he is not here. Very unfortunate, but we do have 25 registered for this race around this 1.25 mile racetrack. So from a very banked half-mile racetrack all the way to this flat 1.25 mile racetrack, it's definitely going to be a bit of a challenge to get used to, as drivers have been slipping and sliding here in practice, and as you see, it is severely overcast as well. Don't know if it's going to be like that for the race, but we'll just see. There's a bit of a fog on the racetrack too. So we got about a minute and a half left of practice. We'll pull up the practice results right now. Jared Wilson and Michael Walls on the top row. As you know, they were both battling late last week at Bristol, and then they both unfortunately got caught up in wrecks. So we'll see how fast they are tonight. And then you have your Daytona winner, C.D. Mangrum, in third. Jimmy Cocker is in fourth, and then Rivers Jones in fifth. You see Jared on pit road, who hasn't really had the season he's wanted so far. Pretty sure has wrecked in every single race. But he seems to be pretty. But he was quick in those races, so we'll see if he can keep it mistake free tonight. Let me just update this thing real quick. There we go. So about 10 seconds left. Looks like it's going to be Jared holding on to that top spot, with Micah just behind him. As it's going to be Jared Wilson topping practice as we'll head into qualifying, a 5-minute qualifying session, or when everyone finishes up. So 26 cars have entered into this race, as we'll pick a driver to go on board with here. And we'll just do the first one out. So it looks like it's going to be Duncan Faw in that number 76, so we'll ride on board with him. If I can find... There we go. So far, Duncan Faw has had a pretty quiet season. Not much to go off of anything. I think he maybe was in a few wrecks. Oh yeah, he did get in that wreck with Micah at the end last week, so he's looking to finish this one as he comes to his first lap. You'll see this track's going to be very slick. Very hard into turn number 1, and now coming out of turn 2. Turns 1 and 2 is a lot different from 3 and 4. That's going to be another challenge these drivers face throughout all 100 laps. Duncan Faw very sideways coming off the corner, but he holds on to it. He's going to qualify right now first, but we'll see once everyone else starts passing the line. Right now, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is on top, who has a pole this season at Fontana, I believe. But yeah, another unique thing about this track that we haven't seen this season is the access road. You got to enter pit lane on the back straightaway heading into turn 3. That little access road will lead you down into the pits, and then you have to take the access road coming out of the pits. So Jarek still holds the top spot. Gabriel Dahari, your Fontana winner, in second. Dylan Bam third. And now Michael Walls goes to the top. And that number 48 machine. So we'll pull up the tower here. Still got a few drivers out on a lap, but everyone else just retiring. I think Ty Higginbotham might have just finished up. He qualified 6th. CD Mangrum looks like he's done in 9th. Here comes Ethan for his second lap. And it's going to be, it looks like it's going to stay 12th. Rivers Jones off the final quarter. Moves up to 11th. Jose down the back. Hunter Young passes the line for to start his first lap. Jose coming around to complete his second lap. We'll see where this puts him. Currently last out of the qualifiers. And it looks like he's going to stay back there. So a few drivers out on track. Hunter Young, Ryan Munoz, and Andrew Sanford. So it looks like 3 drivers left. Still a lot to qualify though. As Hunter Young is about to complete his first lap, he moves up to 13th. I think Munoz is about to start his lap. Same for Sanford. Maybe Ethan had another lap, as it looks like he's flying down the front stretch, or maybe he's just getting a little bit of practice. But it looks like it's going to be Michael Walls getting the pole, as we have about a minute left in qualifying, so whoever is out on track now will probably be the last few. As Hunter Young's about to complete his second lap, and it looks like it's going to be stay 13th for Hunter Young. Here comes Munoz. Gets up to 19th. Andrew will... I think he's starting his lap again. I think he might have just reset it. So it looks like it's just going to be Andrew Sanford and Ryan Munoz. As Sanford is not going to be able to complete both of his laps. As Munoz comes off the final corner. I just realized Micah and Jonathan Juergensmeyer, they both tied for the pole position. Which in reality, it would have been given to Jurg because he's got more points, but iRacing's giving it to Micah. Munoz moves up to 16th. Andrew keeps passing the line, but it's not setting a lap for him. As that's going to be qualifying right there. It's going to be Michael Walls getting the pole unless they put Jurg out front. But we'll just go off the grid, and we'll pull that up right now. So starting on pole, we have Michael Walls. Right beside him is Jonathan Juergensmeyer. Row number 2, your Fontana winner, Gabriel Dahari and Dylan Bam. Row number 3, AJ Knickel with Ty Higginbotham. Row number 4, Jimmy Cocker, Duncan Faw. And then rounding out your top 10, CD Mangrum and Cameron Lopez. You see row 6, River Jones and Hunter McDivitt. Row number 7, Hunter Young and Ethan Fonseca. Row number 8, Dylan Robb and Ryan Munoz. Row number 9, Gabe Gazzola and Zach Saunders. And then rounding out your top 20, Jared Wilson and Luke Allen. And then you see everyone else. Jose was the last one to set a time. Everyone else did not. So 5 drivers did not qualify for this race. As they usually grid up on pit road, but they're going to grid up on the racetrack. As we're getting set to a start here. Just got to wait for everyone to grid up, or about 30 more seconds. Yeah, pretty decent sized field for Gateway. One driver not in yet. That's Andrew Sanford. There he is now, just appeared. Yeah, pretty big field for Gateway. As I think we have more cars here than we did at Bristol and possibly Fontana as well. So like I said earlier in practice, it is severely overcast, so the sun probably won't be seeing the racetrack today. And these cars are going to be slipping and sliding out of these corners each and every lap. As you see, it's very, very foggy as we ride on board with Micah. You can still see turn 3. It's just, there's a little bit of a mist. This almost reminds me of Texas 2020 in real life. Except that was actually like a mist. This is just fog. But here we go. These drivers are ready for 100 laps. 26 drivers ready to take this 1.25 mile racetrack on. As the pace car comes down pit road, it's going to be Michael Walls with Jonathan Jerkensmeyer on the front row. As they enter the Geico restart zone, green flag is out here at Gateway. I'll tell you what, Gabriel Dahari absolutely sent it into turn number 3, and I think he might have made contact with Jonathan Jerkensmeyer. As they all complete lap number 1 pretty clean. Dahari all over the back bumper of Micah, trying to take that lead away. As Munoz in the wall back there. Here comes Dahari down low. He's going to try to become the first multi-tie winner. A side by side for the lead. Micah's going to lead this lap. That's very tight into turns 1 and 2. Still side by side for the lead. Dahari sliding up the racetrack, trying to stay on Micah's quarter panel. He's doing just that. And he's going to send it off into turn number 3, trying to make that move in front of Micah. And it looks like he's going to be able to get it. So Gabriel Dahari to the race lead. Now here comes Jonathan Jergensmeyer underneath Michael Wallace. But now it looks like he's going to tuck in behind that 48. Maybe not. So he's going to back off a little bit. That might allow AJ to get underneath him. No, it won't. So single file now for the top forever until you get back here to Ethan. And now he goes behind Higginbotham. Jared trying that outside lane, and it works. He gets the run off the corner, trying to get that position from Micah as they head into turn number 1. Side by side for second. Dahari has a chance to pull away here. As Micah very loose off the corner, he's going to lose a lot of time. Going to fall right behind Duck and Fall a little bit in 7th. Maybe not. CD Mangrum there as well. Side by side for that 4th spot. Here comes Jimmy Cocker on Dylan Bam. Sorry about the birds in the background. As Jimmy Cocker is going to get that position. There's not really many side-by-side battles. Here we go now. Rivers Jones with CD Mangrum inside this top 10. That's for 8th. Ethan right behind them with the rest of the field. As Mangrum did not have a good corner. Ethan underneath him now for 9th. As now he's trying to get underneath Rivers. Jones almost slides up into him, but backs off in time. But he'll tuck in front of CD as Higginbotham into the wall. As Jurg, here he comes for the race lead. Back underneath Dahari. AJ Knickel right there as well. And it looks like Jurg's going to take the race lead. Dahari into the wall. That's going to allow Knickel to get underneath him. As AJ Knickel trying to take that position away. We'll see how bad that damage is for Dahari. It wasn't really that big contact, but we'll see if it still affects him. As AJ Knickel takes second. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer out front. I don't know if he's actually from Illinois, but that's what his little driver detail says. Well, not that one, but it was on the grid. And this will be a home race for him if he's actually from Illinois. As AJ got pretty close to his back bumper in turns 1 and 2, but Jonathan Jurgensmeyer got the run off. As back here, Gabe Gazzola has found his way into the top 10, passing Cameron Lopez. And now trying to pass Ethan Fonseca. So a nice clean 10 laps, at least up front. Don't know really what has happened in the back, but on my little race-by-race thing here, it says Donald Stewart went off the racetrack around lap number 4. He's currently in 25th, battling with Traver Burns. So 10 laps completed. Single file for the most part. Until you get all the way back here with Luke Allen and Francis Hamilton. That is for 18th. 17th, my bad. Now just in front of them, here comes Ty Higginbotham trying to pass CD Mangrum, which Mangrum is just kind of dropping like a rock right now. Currently back to 15th. Still trying to get this racetrack figured out, I guess. Or he might have been one of the drivers that hit the wall and just trying to cruise until he can fix his damage. As here comes Ryan Munoz underneath him. It's back up front. Jurg almost has a half a second lead over AJ Knickel. As AJ seems to be a little bit better entering the corner, but Jurg gets him on center off. So you see these drivers moving up to that outside lane, kind of arcing the corner. Going back down low. As AJ runs the way inside. Jurg kind of doing the same thing he did in 3 and 4. Kind of entering high, then arcing down to the middle and low side. And it's working. He's got almost a 0.7 second lead over AJ Knickel. Back here, Michael Wallace, who was leading this race, but got loose out of turn 2 and fell back a lot of positions. Currently in 7th. And just trying to keep up with Duncan Faw and the rest of them. But really no one around him. Right now, your biggest mover goes to this number 17, Zach Saunders, who did not qualify. Currently up into 10th, 8 spots gain. Actually, no, I think he did qualify. I can't remember, but he started 18th. And currently setting his sights on Ethan Fonseca. So Jurg almost has a second lead over AJ Knickel. It looks like Dylan Bam is kind of closing in on Jimmy Cocker to retake his 4th position back. CC entering turn number 1. Both running about the same line. You see that rubber starting to build up. As we got one driver down pit road, that's Francis Hamilton. Looks like he hit the wall pretty hard. This is an unscheduled pit stop for that 89. And you see all the damage to his number 89 Chevy Camaro. So he's going to take 4 tires and maybe fix a little bit of damage. Probably knocked his wheel out a little bit. So I'm not really sure when pit stops will be, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's around lap 30. So they got about 12 laps before they got a pit under green. Remember, you got to take that access road. I'm not sure if that's an actual rule, but it's very hard to get on pit road right here. So you got to take that access road on the backstretch. As Gabriel Dahari, he took 2nd away from AJ Knickel. Maybe saved his tires a little bit. I don't know what's happening back here with Rivers Jones and Ethan Fonseca, but they both make contact, and they're both going to go up into the wall. And this is most likely going to be the first caution as Ethan's motor lets go. No caution for that. Now the caution comes out. There was a lot of contact going on there coming into turns 1, and Ethan shot up the racetrack and yeah, and his motor's let go. So we'll go back and take a look. As we'll go all the way to turn 4. Here we go on turn number 4. This is inside the top 10. Ethan gets into the back of Rivers Jones, gets him a bit loose. Here we go on the front stretch. I don't think Rivers Jones really appreciated that. Came down onto Ethan. And they both made contact heading into 1. Oh, and Ethan, I don't know if he got a tap from the 17 or not, but he came back up the racetrack and took out the 91. We'll ride on board with Zach Saunders, see if he made contact with the 29 at all. Now it looks like Ethan just got loose. So a 2-car incident. Everyone's down pit road. That's going to end Ethan's day, as Jurg's going to lead him. See who the first driver is out. So you see Micah has the first pit box. That's a pretty tough break for Francis Hamilton, who was 2 laps down, I believe. So he'll get one of his lucky dogs back, but not the other one. As it's going to be Gabriel Dahari beating Jurg out, as Jurg has a bit of issues coming out of his pit box, but he comes out 2nd. Looks like Cocker 3rd. Or Dylan Bam 3rd, Cocker 4th, and Duncan Fall 5th. So Gabriel Dahari with a smooth exit coming out. He takes the race lead. So we'll see how he fares in clean air, but he was passed by Jurg. Under that green flag run after he passed Jurg, so. Yeah, Francis Hamilton is 1 lap down, so he's going to hope for a quick caution here. we're going to go one more lap around before we take the one to go. So 22 laps in, or about 20 laps in our first caution strikes. It's going to end one driver's day, which that's Ethan Fonseca. He is out of this race. We'll see how Rivers Jones holds up in the back with his damage, as he's missing his whole front bumper. So I don't know how good it's going to be. It looks like there's a second 89 car. That's Andrew Zapfi. This one's actually sponsored. So there we go. No choose code in this league, as everyone's got 4 fresh tires, so we'll see. I'm not really sure how wheel spin is at this racetrack, but it shouldn't really affect that much with these new tires. So it looks like AJ Knickel was a big loser out of that pit stops. Was in the top 5 and now currently 7th. I think he was actually like running 3rd. Just got passed by Gabriel Dahari. And now back here in 7th, so he did not have a fast pit stop at all. We'll see how fast he can get back up through the field. As the pace car is down pit road, it's going to be Gabriel Dahari leading us back to the green flag here on lap number 24. As the green flag's back out here at Gateway. A nice jump from Dahari. So I think one car is looking 3 wide back here. Yes, he is. Gabe Gazzola underneath Hunter Young and Luke Allen. Everyone just jostling for position. But Dahari with a nice jump out front right now. Micah's sends it underneath Dylan Bam, trying to take that 4th spot away. And he's going to take it. I think he might have scared that 2 car a little bit. There comes Duncan Faw underneath Dylan Bam now. He's going to tuck in line. AJ Knickel's not going to make the move on him. And now a big move underneath Dylan Bam. Here comes that 47, but I think he's going to get the, or Faw's going to get the run on him off the corner. As AJ might be able to get 2 of them here, and he will. Dylan Bam did not have a good entry and slowed up Duncan Faw, and that allowed AJ Knickel to pass both of them to get into that top 5. Now here comes Cameron Lopez, who we haven't really talked much about today, but he's slowly making his way through the field. Oh, bit of netcode there with the 76. Wow, that was big time netcode. They did not make contact, but that 76 shot up the racetrack like they did make contact. Go back and take a look at that. That was crazy netcode. You'll see right here. The 5 underneath them. Just shot up the racetrack. That's one major thing in iRacing that causes a lot of accidents. See, absolutely no contact made in, but it sent the 76 up the racetrack like there was. So he dropped back quite a few positions. Currently in 10th with Luke Allen behind him. It's back up front. The field has caught Gabriel Dahari. As Michael Walls is looking underneath Jimmy Cocker. Dahari slow off the corner. Here comes Jonathan Jurgensmeyer trying to take that lead back. Side by side for first, side by side for third, as Micah's trying to take that position away from Cocker. He does. Jurg can maybe come up. No, he can't. Dahari has the run off the corner. Jurg's going to sit it into 3. He's going to slide up right in front of Dahari. And he will take that position. Here comes Michael Walls underneath Gabriel Dahari. But Dahari gets to run off the corner. AJ Knickel gets around Jimmy Cocker to get into 4th. There's a big sin from Saunders on Dylan Bam. That's for 6th. As Bam's going to get the run off the corner, side by side. Here comes Bam back on that outside, and he's going to take it. Saunders had to get out of the gas there, so they both didn't wreck. It's back up here. Dahari on the outside of Micah. Micah sends it in, trying to take that spot back. As Michael Wells now up to 2nd. Saunders and Bam side by side once again, but Bam's going to hold it. Will Saunders sit it into turn 1? It looks like he is. Here he comes underneath. But Dylan Bam's going to get that run off the corner. He will hold the position. So up front, Jurg is maintaining a race lead right now. Pretty much doing the same thing he was doing earlier. It's working though, so he's going to keep doing it. See, he enters high and arcs back down low. No one else is really doing it like he is. As Dylan Bam almost got into the wall back here. That might allow Saunders to get underneath him again. Here comes Zach Saunders. Did I say Zach? Yep, Zach Saunders. Forgot his first name for a second. As he might have Dylan Bam here, as Bam way up the racetrack. And he will, so Zach Saunders will take that 6th spot. As they enter to turn number 1 and 2. Looks like everyone's keeping it single file now. And Zach Saunders, he's on a move, trying to get underneath Jimmy Cocker to get into that top 5. He started, I believe, 18th. Currently the biggest mover right now. So he's going pretty quick in that number 17. I'm not really sure what happened to Cameron Lopez, but he's dropped a few positions. And now up here, Jimmy Cocker and AJ Knickel, they're going at it for that 4th spot. This looks like Cocker is going to hold position. And here comes Zach Saunders underneath AJ Knickel, trying to get into that top 5. AJ very sideways entering the corner, pushed it really hard there. But he's going to hold position. As Jurg almost has a 2nd lead over Micah. We have a battle brewing for 4th right now. And possibly for 2nd soon. Dahari was close to Micah. Zach Saunders trying to sit it in, maybe trying to scare AJ Knickel, but it's not working. As he's got a nice run off the corner. Here he comes underneath for that 5th spot. Side by side with AJ Knickel. He's going to send it into turn number 3. Going to slide up the racetrack a little bit. And out of the corner. Can he clear him? Yes, he will, as AJ Knickel gets up into the wall. That's going to allow Dylan Bam to get underneath him. Bam trying to make that pass work, but I don't think it's going to stick. As maybe it will off the corner. Dylan Bam's going to clear AJ Knickel. As Knickel falls back to 7th. Ooh. Dylan Bam slides up the racetrack. That's allowed AJ Knickel to get back underneath him. But Bam will hold on to that position. We'll go back up front. Jurg still has a nice lead over Micah. It's about a second. He is absolutely killing it tonight. We still have a long race to go. Remember at Bristol, we saw about 4 different drivers who seemed to have had the fastest cars, and they ultimately got into a wreck, one of them being Micah in that 48, who's currently running second. So we'll see what happens tonight, because we still have a long way to go here. Coming on to lap number 39. Not really many battles up front. We might see one soon between Jimmy Cocker and Zach Saunders, as this would be for that 4th spot. Dylan Bam not too far behind either. As Zach with a nice run off the corner. Here he comes underneath Cocker. I wasn't looking, but maybe Cocker hit the wall. So Zach will pass him. Now Dylan Bam trying to do the same thing. Sliding up, and he will get in front of Jimmy Cocker as well. Back here, Gabe Gazzola underneath AJ Knickel for that 7th spot. As Cameron Lopez falls outside the top 10, Luke Allen enters the top 10. A bit of contact entering the corner. These two racing each other pretty hard. Duncan Faw closing in, as they're both still trading positions. But Gabe has a nice run off the corner. He might be able to clear the 47 entering. Yes, he will. Maybe not. AJ all over his quarter panel. And now Gabe Gazzola is going to clear. So Gabe up in the 7th. And after watching him practice earlier, this is a miracle. As AJ all over his back bumper entering turn number 1. Still all over his back bumper, giving him a punt. As underneath, here comes AJ Knickel. Now into his quarter panel. AJ gets out of the gas. Here comes Duncan Faw. Underneath AJ now. So now Duncan will take that position away. AJ slowly dropping back. I think that wall damage might be hurting him. He tried to move Gabe Gazzola, but Gabe Gazzola held his ground. It's back here, Jared Wilson underneath Karen Lopez. That's for 11th. Of course, Jared Wilson, who topped practice, did not really qualify well. And I had to start in the back, and has just slowly been making his way through the field. As Luke Allen has a nice run on AJ Knickel. That's for 9th. So yeah, that wall damage earlier is affecting that 47 big time as he's dropping back. Loses another position to Luke Allen. And might lose one to Jared Wilson and Cameron Lopez here soon. There's Jared Wilson setting up for a big send. Here he comes underneath AJ. This will be the first time Jared Wilson cracks the top 10, and he gets into it. Oh, Jose hard into the wall behind them. And he's got a little bit of damage to his right side now. They're side by side behind him. Look at all that damage. That's probably going to affect him. He might have to come down pit road early. Trevor Burns and Hunter Young side by side behind. Donald Stern there as well. So yeah, way up the racetrack Jose goes. He's very tight right now. Trevor Burns trying to get underneath him. Couldn't quite get there. Now Burns is going to look on that outside lane. I don't know if that's really where you want to be. AJ Knickel loses the position to Cameron Lopez. As Donald Stern, he's making a move on Hunter Young. That's for that top 15. Trevor Burns making a move on Jose. He'll take that position away from the 41. Hunter Young and Donald Stern, they're both battling for this position. Stern might be able to use the 41 as a pick, and he will. Nice move by Donald Stern there. He's going to get both of these guys. Maybe Jose battles on the outside, but he's going to be tight coming off the corner, and he will. Donald Stern up to 14th with that move. Gotta do what you gotta do, especially pinning a faster car behind a slower car. So we head back up front. Gabriel Dehari got around Michael Walls. Zach Saunders underneath Dylan Bam. As Jurgens pulled away about 1.2 seconds. Like I said, if this is his home racetrack, he's making his hometown, or home, I don't know, I'm not going to say hometown. He's making his home track proud, all the fans here. So I'll have to get confirmation for that after the race. As Dylan Bam was able to hold position on Zach Saunders. So we might have a lap car soon. Oh, he's actually coming down pit road. He's been in the wall a few times. That's Andrew Zapfi. You see him taking the access road. As Dehari is slowly closing in on Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. As Jared Wilson passes Duncan Faw. I think Jared might have saved his tires a little bit better than all these other drivers back here. I think Gabriel Dehari also saved his tires better than the leader. As he's slowly closing in on Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. But we'll be in time before they pit as Rivers Jones. I thought he was coming down pit road, my bad. As Dylan Bam was looking underneath Micah Walls, he's still there. Underneath that 48. Micah not giving him much room. They both make contact. Micah goes up into the wall. Dylan Bam almost spins down into the inside wall. But it's going to be Dylan Bam keeping that position. Maybe not. Micah sends it in hard on that outside lane. Bam's got the run off the corner, but Micah's going to have a better run too. Side by side for third. This Bam's going to probably easily send it into this corner. Maybe not. Micah's still sitting to his outside. And now Dylan Bam is not going to clear. So we are just halfway in this race. Still 50 laps to go. Bam's going to send it into the corner. He's still not clear. Now he gets clear of Michael Walls. So Dylan Bam will take third away from that 48. As we might be having pit stops here pretty soon. It's been about 30 laps. So we'll actually pull up the length. Yeah, 30 laps in total. As Jared Wilson actually came down an extra lap to top off on fuel. He doesn't have a tire advantage though. So you see him up 12 spots. Zach Saunders, my bad, up 13 spots. They're both going to battle for the biggest mover this race. Oh, Saunders and Micah make contact coming out of the corner. Luckily, it didn't turn that 48 around. The track's getting pretty dark if it wasn't dark enough, as the sun is setting behind, well, behind the horizon. I'm not going to say behind the clouds. It's been behind the clouds this whole entire race. But it's setting behind the horizon, behind the track. So nighttime has fallen upon us. If it wasn't already. As Dehari, he's closing in a little bit. Same for Dylan Bam. Now about 0.65. We'll just go 0.6 away from Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. As Saunders is underneath Micah for that position. That's for fourth. Couldn't quite make the pass work. This top five is pretty much pulled away from the rest of the field. The top three is pulling away from these two, though, as they battle. Side by side for fourth still. Zach Saunders is going to probably send it into this corner. Trying to take that spot away. He might have to shove Micah up the racetrack a little bit. Or not. He's just going to tuck in front of that 48. So he takes fourth away from Micah. Dylan Bam is slowly closing in on Gabriel. As Gabriel is slowly closing in on Jonathan. So if they're going to make it to about lap 60, that's going to be about a 40-lap run. And that'll mean they should be able to make it all the way to the end after that. Maybe we might see a little bit of a saving game. There's not much happening in this top 10 right now. Except for these two who have closed in on Jurg. As AJ Knickel, he has fallen all the way back to 19th. That damage. Oh, we have a caution. It is for Hunter McDivitt, who is backwards on the front stretch. And that's going to throw all kinds of pit strategy out the window. Because I think they could have made it on one more stop there. And now it's going to be very, very tight. And he's got engine damage. His engine is blown. So we'll go back and see what happened to Hunter McDivitt, who was in the back. Here we go. 3 wide AJ Knickel and Hunter Young. Oh, Hunter Young and AJ make contact. Then AJ comes down and turns the 81 up into the wall. And he's going to hit both walls pretty hard. We'll watch for a different angle. It was actually Ty Higginbotham who was 3 wide with them at first. But then, oh, my bad. I accidentally hit live. I meant to hit the slow-mo button. But we'll go back here a little bit. Watch this. As AJ Hunter, they're going to make contact coming off the corner. That sends AJ down into Hunter. Tried to save it, but still spun down into him. And then poor Hunter McDivitt hits the outside wall. Hunter Young, lucky he did not get involved there. And McDivitt's going to go back down and hit the inside wall pretty hard here. We'll catch back up with that in just a second as we got pit stops. Everybody down maybe for the final time. You might be able to save from here. As it's going to be Gabriel Dehari with another nice pit stop. Out first, Jurg out second, Zach Saunders out third, Michael Wallace fourth, and Jared Wilson fifth. So as they go around 2 more times, we'll just ride on board with Gabriel Dehari. As I gotta go get something real quick, so I'll be right back. All right, so I believe Francis Hamilton got the lucky dog there, so he's back on the lead lap. So a few notes to look at this race is, I got 3 notes. How many more cautions we're gonna have? Will this become a fuel mileage race if it does go green? And can anyone beat that 00 of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, who is second right now, but he seems to get up to the lead pretty quickly. They were catching him there on the long run, but it was the super long run. So we'll be restarting with 40 laps to go. We got a new face up here in this top 5. Your guy who was fastest in practice, Jared Wilson, in that number 3. We know he has a quick race car. We'll just see what he can do with it. So the same front row we had last restart, Gabriel DeHard with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer to his outside. But we got a pretty aggressive second row, Zach Saunders, who's been sitting it in on people all night. And then we know, if you know who Michael Walls is, you know how he is. As we come out of turn number 4, Gabriel DeHard will lead us to the green flag once again as they enter the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air here at Gateway. A nice jump for DeHari. 40 laps to go. We'll see if they can make it on fuel. As side by side for third, Micah and Saunders. Gabe Cazzola gets up here into this top 5. As Jared into the wall. I think Luke Allen also hit it. As here comes Gabe Cazzola underneath Zach Saunders. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer up the racetrack. That's allowed Micah to get underneath him. Jurg's having some issues coming out into the corner, as he's going to lose a ton of time here. Somehow Gabe Cazzola has found his way into the top 3, but Jurg back to his outside. Looks like Jurg will hold position. Jared Wilson back up into that wall. He's also been having some issues back here, as Dylan Bam also kind of sliding back as well. Traber Burns, where did he come from? He's up here in 7th. Luke Allen also up here. As Dylan Bam went off the racetrack, and it looks like he's hit the inside wall. Actually, his car looks relatively clean, but that's going to bring out the caution. Go back and see what happened to him. We saw him battling with Jared and now underneath Jimmy Cocker. And then here comes Donald Stern, and he looks like he's going to slide up, or Donald Stern might have come down. Either or, it sends the 2 around, and he misses the inside wall, but he spins back up the racetrack. It's going to bring out the caution. We'll ride on board with him. See if he came up or Donald Stern came down. Actually, we'll go blimp cam. It looks like maybe a bit of both. But he kept it off that inside wall, so good job to Dylan Bam. Not tearing up his race car like we saw at Fontana when he hit the pit road barrels and sent his car flying. So we got a few drivers that pitted, one of them being Rivers Jones, so it doesn't really matter with him, but the other one being Hunter Young. Just maybe just topping off on fuel. The lucky dog actually went to... This is AJ's a lap down, so maybe AJ Knickel? Yeah, it looks like that 87 just topping off on fuel. Was AJ actually a lap down? I think he was. I think he's taking his lucky dog now. So that restart for Jurg just did not go how he expected. Back to 3rd now. But it's probably better that he's not gonna be 2nd. As you know how iRacing works, 2nd place usually doesn't get the best jumps. Probably going to come to 2 to go till green. Let's see if this is where all the cautions start coming. So we got some new faces up here. Gabe Gazzola has found his way into the top 5. Luke Allen right behind him. Trevor Burns, 19 spots gained. He's right now the biggest mover. He's found his way into 6th or 7th. Jared Wilson, we'll see how bad that damage is for him as he hit the wall and looked like he was falling back quite a bit. So I do think I see some scrapes on his right front. And how about Donald Stern up here in the top 10 now? Just right behind him, C.D. Mangrum, who started top 10 but fell back. Just hasn't been able to find that track position. Same for Cameron Lopez. Duncan Faw also back here, who is up there in the top 10. Of course, we'll see if Dylan Bam and AJ Knickel, who are running top 5, make their way back up through the field. So we'll be restarting with 34 laps to go. So it should be taking the 1 to go signal this time by. Yes, we are. So Gabriel Dehari trying to become the first 2-time winner this season. Michael Walsh, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Zach Saunders, Gabe Gazzola, Luke Allen, Trevor Burns, Jared Wilson, Jimmy Cocker, Donald Stern. The list goes on until you get to C.D. Mangrum, who's 11th. All looking for their first wins of the season. Of course, Brody Falliger, who won at Bristol last week, is not here tonight. So I hope everyone was doing maximum fuel saving there. Although I think they can easily make it from here now after that caution. But the pace car is down pit road. It's going to be Gabriel Dehari leading us once again to the green flag with Michael Walls to his outside this time. And green flag's out here at Gateway. Nice jump for that 36. Michael Walls holds on to second, but Jerk quickly underneath him. Not for long. Jerk backs off a little bit. Zach Saunders to his outside. Gabe's going to try to clear Luke Allen in the back. He will. Side by side for third. Jerk trying to take that spot back. But I think Zach Saunders is just too strong on that outside lane. And yes, he is. So Zach Saunders will keep that position. Trevor Burns very sideways off the corner. Jimmy Cocker back underneath him. Donald Stern there as well. Donald tried to look 3 wide, but was basically held up behind the O2. As contact off the corner with Trevor Burns and Jimmy Cocker. Jared back into the wall. As these two still making contact down the straightaway. This is for P8. As now Jimmy Cocker will take that spot away from the O2. Jared Wilson underneath Luke Allen for that 6th spot. And he's going to send it into turns 1 and 2. Slide up in front of Luke Allen, and he will take that spot. Donald Stern into the wall. He's being battled by C.D. Mangrum for that top 10 spot. Munoz and Lopez side by side right behind them. Donald Stern trying to hold on to that top 10. As C.D. Mangrum sliding up the racetrack, almost making contact with the 88. Oh, now he does make contact. He's going to go for a slide. He holds on to it, though. Well, that's going to drop him back quite a ton. It's going to be back here with AJ Knickel and Dylan Bam, as Bam just gives the 37 a huge shot. Nice save by CD Mangrum. Back up front, Zach Saunders underneath Michael Walls for that second spot. Jared Wilson has found his way into the top 5, passing Gabe Gazzola. Micah into the wall pretty big time there. So we got about 29.5 laps to go. Looks like Saunders is going to take second away from Micah. And yes, he does. As Gabe Gazzola slowly falling back. He's got Luke Allen on his back bumper now. As now the top 5 is pulling away from the rest of the field. The top 5 are within a second of each other. Jared Wilson just outside of that second now. No one really making any moves up front. It's still a tire saving game. We still got 27 laps to go. Actually coming to 28 laps to go. As Traver Burns, he's making a big move underneath Jimmy Cocker. But he's going to tuck back in behind Cocker. So we'll see if he can get this 31 this time by. As up here, Jared Wilson looked underneath Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, couldn't quite do anything. As Zach Saunders, he's slowly closing in on Gabriel Dehari for that race lead. Traver Burns looking back underneath Jimmy Cocker for 8th. He's going to send it in. But Cocker's still going to have that advantage on the outside. Now back up front, here comes Jared Wilson underneath Jurg, trying to side draft him a little bit. But Jurg also trying to hold his ground. And Jurg's just going to let him go, it looks like there. Jared Wilson now up to 4th. As Traver Burns still could not get around the 31. For some reason, Ethan Fonseca's back out on the racetrack. I don't know why. He can't really pass anybody. But he's back out there. So 25, almost 24 laps to go. Still a long race ahead, and we'll see who saves the best tires towards the end of this thing. I'm not really sure what happened to Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, but he just doesn't seem as quick this round. He is stuck in dirty air, but he was stuck in dirty air the past few other restarts, and quickly got back out there to the lead as Jared Wilson hits the wall once again. There's probably a lot of blue paint on that turn 2 wall. As Dehari almost has a half a second lead over Saunders. As still sponsor list as 36 is. Of course, won at Fontana 2 weeks ago in his first start in the league. Didn't really have the best results at Bristol, but right now leading out front here at Gateway with 22 laps to go. As Duncan Fall has found his way into the top 10, passing Donald Stern. Dylan Bam also making his way back through the field. Here he comes underneath Donald Stern for that 11th spot. Looks like Donald let him by there. So it looks like Dylan Bam is easily making his way through the field. AJ Knickel, though, still stuck back here. That just, after hitting that wall, it's just been a headache of a race for this 47. It's back up front. These two have pulled away about a second over Micah. As Ethan came back down pit road, getting more damage repair. As back here comes Dylan Bam trying to pass Duncan Faw. Coming to 20 laps to go. This is for 10th. Of course, Dylan Bam was running up here into the top 5 earlier. Ooh. Duncan Faw almost ran into the back of him there. Now looking underneath Dylan Bam. And we have a caution for Hunter Young and Cameron Lopez in the back. They both wreck. So this is interesting. We'll see who comes down pit road and who stays out. So again, Hunter Young and AJ Knickel. 3 wide back here, this time with Cameron Lopez. It looks like either Lopez came up or AJ came down, but either way, that 5 car turns into the outside wall. And Hunter Young is just an innocent bystander. We'll go blimp cam to see this a little bit better. Maybe not, it's kind of cloudy up here. Slow motion. And Lopez is on that almost hugging that curve, but he does come up a little bit. And AJ Knickel is right there. Around he goes up into Hunter Young, which that would have been a really, really hard hit for the 5 if Hunter Young was not there. So it's probably a good thing Hunter Young was there. Keep that 5 safe. I don't think I ever switched back. My bad. But everyone's down pit road. No one's taking the gamble of staying out, which is probably a good thing. We'll see. Gabriel Dahari has been having very quick pit stops this race. This time he comes in as the race leader, so we'll see if he gets out first. And he will. Just beating Zach Saunders. Michael Walls 4th. Or 3rd. Jared Wilson 4th. And Gabe Gazzola beats Jonathan Jerkesmeyer for that 5th spot. So with 18 laps to go, we got about 2 laps under pace laps. We'll, well, that's it. Go scenic. There's AJ coming out quickly. We'll give a little shout out to the main sponsor of this series, simratmarket.com. Of course, go check them out. Their website is literally the name of the series, simratmarket.com. Big thanks to them for sponsoring this whole series. And definitely a big pleasure for the whole ARC community to have them and to make this series actually run. So out of turn number 4, We'll be restarting with 15 laps to go. And it's going to be Gabriel Dahari, this time with Zach Saunders. To his outside lane. So we'll see if this is the final caution of the race. As we've been having long green flag stints. That was probably our shortest one there. And it was about 25 laps. I think the first caution that happened around lap 18, lap 20 was our shortest run. As Ethan's still out on the racetrack. He's got his car almost completely fixed, but he's 60 laps down. We'll check out Hunter Young. Poor Cameron Lopez, who's still on pit road. He has just not had a good season at all. And that number 5 machine. But here we go once again. And again, it's Gabriel Dahari, who's going to be starting first. With Zach Saunders to his outside as the pace car dives down pit road. We're going to be entering the Geico restart zone right here. And green flag back in the air. 15 laps to go here at Gateway. Micah with the good jump. He's going to take second from Zach Saunders. He's going to try to close in here on the 36. Down the back straightaway, Gabe. Oh, big wreck in the back. Hunter Young, Francis Hamilton, Ty Higginbotham. I saw another car spinning. I think that was Andrew Zapfi. Someone took a big hit there. I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been. I think it was one of the black cars. I think it was Francis Hamilton, who's already been caught up in a wreck tonight. We'll go back and take a look at what happened. Here he is side by side with Ty Higginbotham. Oh, Jose gets loose, comes down into him. Dylan Robb also involved, Ethan getting involved there too. And I think Ty might have hit that inside wall pretty hard. Still somehow kept it going. Yeah, Jose's car just, that 41 just snapped from underneath him. Here we go, we'll go slow motion. She's up there in that seam. Yep, there it is. Starts to get loose right there. And just Francis Hamilton was absolutely blindsided here. And he takes a hard shot into that outside wall. There you see Higginbotham gets turned by C.D. Mangrum. Rob and Hunter Young nowhere to go. Higginbotham's going to take a pretty big hit into this inside wall with his back bumper. Rivers Jones sliding through the grass. But he misses it. There you see the 89. I'm not... Oh, he might make contact with the 89. No, he's not going to. But he's going to make contact with the inside wall. Yes, he does. So he couldn't avoid everything. I'm not sure what happened to the inside wall. Or not the inside wall. I'm not sure what happened to Andrew Zapfi there. We'll go back and see. It's out of the corner. It looks like a little bit of contact from Francis Hamilton. AJ Knickel somehow avoids. We'll ride on board with this number 47. I just pulled something up, my bad. Alright, let's redo that. A little bit of lawn work, but nothing else to this race car. He kept it relatively clean. So you see Lopez is going to get one of his lap back here, or the wave around. Up front, it looks like we're going to be restarting with 10 laps to go. So 10 laps to the side, the winner of this race, Gabriel Dahari, looking for his second win of the season. Most of these other cars looking for their first. As Jared Wilson has found his way up into fourth. He might have been already fourth. Is lining up this time by Cameron Lopez is going to go around to take his little lucky dog wave around, whichever one it is. So we'll see if these drivers can keep it clean for 10 more laps. So how about Ryan Munoz, who's found his way into this top 10, it looks like. Maybe not. I think Trevor Burns might have it. Oh, never mind. The 6 is side by side with the 7. So he's up here into this top 10. It's just they're doing weird little checkups there. But everybody ready for this restart, and they're all probably anticipating a wreck too. Things are going to get pretty crazy here at Gateway Motorsports Park as we got 10 laps to go on this restart. And green flag back in the air. Micah jumped it a little bit there, had to get out of the gas. That's going to allow Gabriel Dahari to take the race lead as they fan out behind Jerg 3 wide with Dylan Bam and Gabe Gazzola. Munoz in the middle there as well with Jimmy Cocker and Dylan Bam. Hard into the wall. There goes Trevor Burns around. Gets nailed by Ethan Fonseca, who should just retire that car. As I think he came up on the nose of Jose, and yes, cautions are going to be breeding cautions here. Go back and take a look. See, 3 wide with Jose and Luke Allen. He was actually having a pretty good night. And then, yep, just comes up into that 41. Everyone tries to avoid, but he spins back down the racetrack right in the path of Ethan Fonseca. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get like a better camera angle here. But you see, and then actually Luke Allen shoves him up into the 41. I didn't even realize Luke Allen did that. So the 41 is already in the wall, but he kept it up there, and then Luke Allen shoves this 02 in there on the nose of the 41. Everyone avoids it, but then the 02 spins back down the racetrack, and here comes Ethan Fonseca right into the driver's side door. We'll hope Trevor Burns is okay. As he's still driving that race car, he comes down pit road, so does C.D. Mangrum. And another car, Rivers Jones, but he's already a few laps. Actually, I think Rivers Jones might be able to lead lap now with all these cautions. We do have green-white checkered attempts. I think we get 3 of them. We'll be going around about 2 more times here. So, since not much is happening, I guess it's time to plug in another sponsor here. This time we'll do it for, let me just look here. We'll do it for the, how about the, one of ARC's longtime sponsor, it seems, at least from what I know, and that's Dive Bomb Motorsports. Of course, the primary partner of ARC. They are a new media project by motorsports fans for motorsports fans. Wait, I read that wrong. I'll read all that better later. But yeah, Dive Bomb Motorsports, one of ARC's longtime sponsors and their primary partners as well. So thank you to ARC for their longtime sponsorship. Did I say ARC? I've totally botched this whole thing. Thank you to Dive Bomb Motorsports for their longtime sponsorship in the for ARC. So as that failure of a sponsor segment took place there, we're one to go to green. Don't worry, I'll give better shout outs by the end of this thing. See CD Mangrum. Just barely got out of pit. His car looks damaged. I'm not sure what happened to him. He might have been involved a little bit in that wreck, that little big one that took place in the back. Well, we were restarting with 5 laps to go. It's going to be Gabriel DeHart with Michael Walls once again on this front row. We'll see how that outside lane does on this restart. We'll see if they can survive these next 5 laps clean. As they come out of turn 4, Gabriel DeHart leads us once again, and we're back underway here at Gateway. A nice jump by Mike on that outside, as Gabe Gazzola, big move underneath Zach Saunders. Not a lot of room to give here in turns 1. But Zach is going to hold on to position from Gabe and Jared. Jose into the wall again. Dylan Bam to that outside. He's back up here in this top 5, or trying to get into that top 5. Trying to pass Gabe Gazzola. They make a little bit of contact that sends Dylan Bam up the racetrack. As Jared now trying to get underneath that too. 4 laps to go this time by. Tahari right now holding point, but Michael Walls all over his back bumper. When does Michael want to make his move? They come down the back straightaway. And heading into turns number 3. Michael all over the back bumper of this 36. He slides up the racetrack though, so does the 36. As out of the corner, we have 3 laps to go here. Jimmy Cocker and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, they're side by side back here as they wreck behind. AJ Knickel around with Andrew Sanford. Oh, Cameron Lopez gets into it as well. Another wreck here at Gateway. So this will set up overtime. We'll go back and see what happened. It looks like 3 wide again. AJ on the bottom. Jose slides up. Oh, and then comes down into AJ. Andrew nowhere to go. And then here comes Cameron Lopez, who's just going to pile into the 37. Try to look at that from a different camera angle. I think the blimp camera angle might have a better shot. We'll see from right here. Slow motion. And you see the 41 up the racetrack, who's already been involved in a few wrecks tonight. I think him and the 37 make contact. And it sent the 41 back down into the 47. Higginbotham gets past it. But AJ Knickel goes around. And then Andrew Sanford goes around down the racetrack, and poor Cameron Lopez, who committed to the inside because he saw the wreck happening on the outside, gets caught in this. And plus he had that 89 on his outside as well, so there was really nowhere for that 5 to go. We'll watch it one more time in real speed. So overtime here at Gateway. We'll see if Gabriel Dahari will hold on to this lead, but Michael Wallace was getting very close to that back bumper. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he uses his bumper this time. That right there is a scary sight, seeing that 48 of Michael Walls. Trust me, if you raced with him back on PS3, PS4, PS5, and now on iRacing, you know how aggressive that 48 is. So I think we're 1 to go this time by. No, we're not. They were just lining up like they were 1 to go. As most of these drivers already double up, they're all ready to get this thing back going under green. Ryan Munoz came back down pit road, same for Traver Burns. So out of the 26 that started, we'll see how many are out here. I'm not really sure. Everyone's down pit road. I think only really 5 of them, maybe 6 of them. No, 4 or 5 of them are actually just staying on pit road for the rest of the race. Actually, Lopez is out on the racetrack. It's Hamilton, McDivitt, and Fonseca. So 3 drivers out of this race. And then you have Jones and Lopez, who both have damage. C.D. Mangrum also has damage. Trevor Burns also has damage. Hunter Young also has damage. Andrew Sanford. AJ Knickle. A lot of cars back here with damage. But here we go. Field gets the 1 to go single, even though they were already doubled up. They can stay doubled up now. We'll see if they can complete 2 laps around this circuit. We'll see if anyone can pass this 36, who has basically led them all since the lap 25 caution, or 20 caution. So here we go, our pace car in, hopefully for the final time. It's going to be Gabriel Dahari with Michael Walls starting on this front row. Both of them making contact before the green is even out. And green flag's out. Gabriel Dahari with a nice jump, but Michael Walls stays to his outside. Dahari trying to clear, but Michael's going to send it way into the corner. What a move by that 48, and he's going to take the race lead away. What a move. Gabe into the wall hard. AJ's also back there. They make contact. They're wrecking. Gabe's around. Dylan Bam's also around. Caution's back out. Oh, Hunter Young. Andrew Sanford. I saw AJ Knickle in the back wreck too. 2 separate wrecks on that restart. I want to go back to the start though with this 48. Because he absolutely sent it into that corner. and made it work. So here we go on the restart. He stays in line with that 36. And look at this send. Almost getting turned by the 36. But he holds on to it. In the back here, AJ Canickel gets turned by Jose. Which Jose has been doing that to a lot of cars. Jose and him go around. Oh, I don't think AJ was very happy with him. Full throttled into the 41. And then back here, or in front of them, if I can find Gabe's name. Him and Dylan Bam somehow wrecked. Side by side. It looks like they make a little bit of contact, which sends Gabe up into the wall, and Gabe spins back down into Dylan Bam. Around they go, and then here comes Hunter Young. Oh my goodness, Andrew Sanford piles into Gabe there. So go see how bad the damage is to this number 2. No one else is going to hit him. As Gabe took the worst of it back there. This is just crazy stuff happening on that restart. We're going to set up another overtime attempt. It's coming to a 2 to go single this time by. Before we rack these cars up for another restart. So I think Gabe Gazzola, Jose, they're all down pit road. I think Andrew Sanford is out. Gabe Gazzola is going to be out of this race too. Dylan Bam's down pit road trying to take some repairs. Jose Rivers Jones, Cameron Lopez. So it's going to be a lot of damage for that number 2 to fix. So now it's Michael Walls, the control car. He was second fastest in practice. Can't really remember where he qualified. I think, wait, he got pole, didn't he? Did he get pole? I think he might have gotten pole, actually. Yeah, it was Micah. I'm pretty sure Micah got pole. So he started on pole and looking to get the win. We're going to be lining up, doubling up. We'll see if this is going to be for the final restart. As Duncan Foz found his way back up here into the top 10. Ty Higginbotham and Donald Stern also up here in the top 10. Jet 97 has been damaged. Is that Andrew Zapfi, whatever his name is. He's been 2 laps down most of this race. And now has found his way up into 12th and a chance to, or in 11th, with a chance to get into this top 10. So we'll see how he does. We'll look up front with Michael Wallace, see if he can hold on to this race win. As base car comes down, hopefully for the final time. This time it's going to be Michael Walls out in the lead, and he'll lead us to the Gotta Go restart zone. As they enter it now, green flag back in the air here at Gateway. Nice launch by Michael Walls. as Dahari's going to hold second. Jared and Zach Saunders back there for third. Side by side for third. Saunders going to slide up almost into Jared. They hold it straight. The 31 up into the wall. Dahari in striking distance, though. They just got to make a few more corners before they see the white, and this race will be official. As out of turn number 4, Micah Walls sees the white flag this time by. 1 lap to go here at Gateway. Gabriel Dahari all over the back more of that 48. He's going to back off a lot. Micah's going to sit it into the corner. Dahari's going to have one more chance on this 48. Down the back straight for the final time. Micah into the wall. That's going to allow this 36 to close in. He might have to use the bumper, though. Here they come entering 3. Dahari sends it in. He's not going to get there. Slides up the racetrack into the wall. And that's all she wrote for that 36. Out of the final corner. It's going to be Micah Walls winning the race here at Gateway as Jared's going to spin behind. Dahari second. How about Jonathan Jurgensmeyer getting back up there into third? So we'll take it back. Look at what happened to Jared, who comes home in 8th. But we'll watch the 48s burnouts first. See, everyone congratulations that 48. Who started on pole and was running basically top 5 all day. And man, that restart he had where he got around Gabriel Dahari, that's what basically sealed it. So here he comes onto the front straightaway as he's going to burn it down for the first time this season. Then you see Donald Stern right behind him, who came home 9th. So not bad for that number 88. But Michael Walls is going to burn it down here at Gateway. And there goes the 48's engine. And there goes the 88's engine. So that's a big payout for that team, Jared Bogley Motorsports. So we'll go back. We'll just watch the whole final lap. As a Gabriel Dahari, I thought he was going to have a chance, but then entering turn 1, he braked. Looked like he might have braked just a little bit too much, and just could not get back to that back bumper of that 48. So you see, he was close to the 48 here. This is coming to the white flag. But he looked high, and then he's going to hit the brakes. I think he was just trying to set up a crossover on Micah, but obviously did not work. Micah's going to hit the wall, though. I thought that was going to give the 36 another chance, but he was just nowhere near striking distance. Or he was in striking distance, but probably would have wrecked that 48, and then slides up the racetrack. And then Jared Wilson back here, 3 wide with Zach Saunders and Dahari. Zach's going to slide up the racetrack and push Jared into that wall. And he's just going to coast the line on the wall, finishing 8th. So that's going to do it. We'll go into interviews. Get to Discord here. As of course we'll try to do this in order, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. So the first one we'll bring in here is Jurg. I don't think I have anything to actually like bring these guys in with. I don't think I have powers to do that. So I'll just tag them in the chat, see if they want to have an interview. All right, well, here's third place finisher who was dominating this thing early, but then got stuck back in traffic, but made his way back into third, and that is Jonathan Jerkensmeyer. So, how you doing, Jonathan?
A little disappointed.
Yeah, I believe you started second this race, and like I said, you were kind of leading pretty a lot early, and then the sun went down, and the lights came on, and you kind of got stuck. You weren't really the quickest on pit road. Gabriel Dehari kept beating you out, and I think that's what kind of caused you to go into the back. Got stuck behind a few cars, but managed to make your way back up into third. So yeah, how do you feel?
I mean, I was really happy with my pace, with my speed there at the start. I got the lead early. I think I could have gotten pole with just a little better lap. My 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 second place lap was my first lap, and I didn't have a very good second lap. But besides that, I was running really well. I was pulling away from the field that entire first stint, but um, Dahari he started to catch me near the end of that run. He was saving his tires really well, and then caution came out, and I mean there was a big struggle on exiting the pits. I don't know. I mean, this is I don't really know what I was doing wrong there, but obviously something if I lost a spot every single caution. But I mean, besides that, it's just hard to get into a rhythm. Um, at that point, um, especially when you're in traffic and we don't get any green flag runs. So, I mean, besides that, I'm happy with the run. First top three finish. I'm glad to be here talking to you here today.
All right, Jared. Well, is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
I'll thank all the Goat Inc. guys, Justin Rott, Duncan Fall, who makes all our paint scheme or most of our paint schemes. I think Jonathan Parker too. He helped me before the race. He helped me figure out this track, and I don't think I would have been near the top three without him.
All right. Well, congrats on your third place. And looking at the schedule, it looks like we might be going to a road course of some sort. I'm not really sure what that road course is, but yeah. So it's gonna be a fun one, turning left and right next week. But yeah, see you there.
All right, thank you.
Or so that was Jurg, finished third. Uh, we'll try to bring Gabriel Dehari in here next. He should be joining a VC. Hopefully, he'll be dragged in here because I don't really have the dragging powers. Or maybe he could just join this chat. I'm not sure. We'll wait on him. And we'll see if we can get Micah in here after.
Hello.
All right, and your second place finisher is with us now, Gabriel Dehari. And it looked like you had it there at the end with all those cautions, and then Michael Walls made a huge move on your outside, and then you try to get back to them on the final lap, but just couldn't quite get to his back bumper. Almost lost your second place there, but luckily everyone in front of you kind of made contact and wrecked each other, so you ended up getting back into second place, but still one spot short of the victory here. How do you feel?
Yeah, I tried to go back at him at the on the last corner. I guess he drove it in further than normal, and I did not realize that, and may or may not have gone into the wall. Luckily, the two guys who got under me got into a bit of a kerfuffle, and I managed to get around them. But on that last second to last restart, what's his name, Michael or Micah?
Micah.
Micah. I'm not sure if this is allowed, but he was like hanging back on the restart and then going faster than I was before I went. Not sure if that is legal, but that is how he was able to stay on my outside.
That's above my pay raise to figure that out.
Think I definitely might have had a shot if I pulled out ahead of him on that second to last restart.
All right. Well, is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
Uh, I would like to thank the two cars that almost wrecked in front of me at the end.
Also, one more thing. Are you ever gonna get a sponsor?
Um, we are in talks with acquiring sponsorship. However, said sponsorship will take a long time.
All right. Well, congrats on your second place tonight. Like I was telling Jerg, next week is a road course,
Oh,
so that's gonna be definitely challenging, but fun
sounds
for
fun.
me to watch. So, congrats on your second place, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you. I will see you next week, hopefully.
So that was Gabriel Dahari. We'll try to bring in your winner, Michael Walls. See if he's in the chat. In a call. He kind of has to be in a call to be dragged in here. All right, and we have caught up with your winner, which is Michael Walls. And Micah, wow, that second to last restart, you made that absolute power move to the outside of Gabriel Dahari, which gave you the race lead. And you ended up holding on to it there at the end. Got into the wall out of turn number 2, almost cost you.
I'm not going to talk about that one.
Almost cost you, but yeah, still picking up your first win of the season. How do you feel?
It's great. This track absolutely blows. Yeah, but it was fun racing with the 36 there. Just I didn't think I was going to have a chance, and I got a good restart, that second to last caution, and made the most of it.
All right. Well, even though this is your first victory this season, you're no surprise face in victory lane in all of ARC, as you have many ARC wins underneath your belt. But yeah, is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
We got to thank Bill. We got to thank Jared and Donald, and most importantly, Travis.
All right, Micah. Well, if you do race next week, it is a road course, so that should
Don't
be.
expect me to run in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
top 10 at all.
So yeah, well, good thing you got this win today, so you can back on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats on your win tonight, and I'll see you next week at that road course.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it. But first, before we leave, we'll pull up the results. So Michael Walls with the race win here at the Gateway. Gabriel Dahari second, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer third, Zach Saunders fourth, and Jimmy Cocker fifth. All of them are really running top 5 most of this race, so congrats to all of them. Duncan Foss sixth, Luke Allen seventh, Jared Wilson fell back to 8th after getting into the wall. Donald Stern ninth, and how about Ty Higginbotham rounding out your top 10? Ryan Munoz 11th, Dylan Robb 12th, Trevor Burns 13th, Andrew Zapfi 14th, Jose 15th, C.D. Mangrum 16th, Hunter Young 17th, A.J. Knickel 18th. 19th, Rivers Jones, first car 1 lap down. Rounding out your top 20, Dylan Bam, after getting into that late wreck. And the rest of the guys basically DNF'd. Cameron Lopez 21st, 22nd Gabe Gazzola, 23rd Andrew Sanford, 24th Francis Hamilton, 25th Hunter McDivitt, and rounding out last, 26th Andrew Ethan Fonseca. So as we wrap up today's racing broadcast, we express our gratitude to our sponsors, our dedicated viewers, and everyone involved in making this auto racing connected event impossible. And the sponsors are, thank you to Dive Bomb Motorsports, ARC's primary partner. Dive Bomb is a collaborative new media project by. Hold on, leave me one. Alright, sorry about that. I was being called by someone. We'll restart that. Thank you to Dive Bomb Motorsports, ARC's primary sponsor. Dive Bomb is a collaborative new media project by motorsports fans for motorsports fans. Thank you to SimLeaguePro.com, ARC's league management partner. SimLeague Pro is built for drivers and community managers to create leagues and races that can be enjoyed by all on any platform or game. To SimRat Market, iRacing's largest marketplace of professional level livery design templates, custom graphics, designs, numbers, sets, and more for the sim racing community. And of course, the primary sponsor of this series. To IMB Racewear, ARC Sim Racing apparel sponsor. IMB brings sim racing gloves, boots, and more, all truly built from the ground up with the quality and precision you deserve. To the Racing Rats, our Assetto Corsa modding partners putting out high-quality free mods and working closely with us to host incredible Assetto Corsa League racing. And finally, to James McAdam Photography, and Agent Nickel Designs, our photography and graphics design partners. As the action on track ends, keep the spirits of racing alive until our next event. Until then, this has been another Auto Racing Connected broadcast. Thank you all for coming out here tonight. Of course, next week we head to a road course. So that's going to be fun. A little bit of lefts and rights here and there. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Next Thursday, 7 o'clock, same time as all these other races. See you there.